What's going on, y'all? DeSwami here. I hope y'all are having a great day as usual. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how I made a Porter Robinson type track, but it's a little bit more dark sounding compared to some of his happy music. So here's a little preview. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Alright, so here we are in Logic. I have the tempo set to 167 beats per minute, and I guess we'll just start off with like the progression of the song. So it starts off with just like a piano playing and a choir in the background, and that's what this sounds like. It's a super basic chord progression. It's literally just two chords basically. This third chord you hear is just a one note move down to here. I don't know, Porter kind of does this thing where he uses like the same chords. He'll just like move one note down. So I'm using the stock piano sound from Logic. And then I just have this choir playing in the background. So I believe I sound designed this myself. So yeah, this is what it looks like. The pianos are like kind of humanized. I put the humanize function on it to make it sound like someone's actually playing it. Or we just have some ambience in the background, and then I have this like little riser to transition into the next part. It's like a little vocal riser kind of thing, and then I just have a reverse crash into a normal crash and some white noise. And then what makes it cool about this is that now I have the same patches for the choir and the piano, but I have the choir sidechain now. I wanted it to be sidechained while this ARP was playing. And then I just have like this little percussion loop going in the background, and I have this vocal shot from one of Kashmir's songs. I use this vocal for like a fill, basically. And it kind of just worked with the ARP that was playing already. So it all worked out in the end. I just chopped it and like got into time and made sure like all the words were like on the beats I wanted it to. Little transition effect. It's like a little like stomp. And then I have the piano actually switches now. The original piano is still playing throughout the song, but now I have like this sidechain piano playing. It's like the same notes, but it's playing in this like triple groove now. It sounds like this. And this is also just being sidechained to a 1/2. Just to give that cool feel. And I'm using two different piano presets for this because they're hard panned, and if I hard pan something, usually I like to have different samples because it gives the illusion that it's just the same instrument, but in reality it sounds like really different if it was the same instrument. If the two sounds sound totally different, I don't think you should layer it hard panned, because then it might like really throw the listener off and they might not know what to pay attention to. But if it sounds like somewhat similar, I think you could get away with using the same kind of sound in hard panning. And then I just have a respace under playing the bass notes of the chords. But this is when it kind of the ARP is kind of speeding up. Now I have it playing, instead of like the half notes, I have it playing on every beat of the bar. And then after 8 bars, I have another ARP come in. Oh, and by the way, this is what the preset looks like for this string. This is from Echo Soundworks pack as well. It kind of reminds me of the string from Flume's You and Me remix. And then I have another ARP that's going even faster, playing 8th notes, but the same MIDI. And it's just the super saw preset that I always like using. And these were all the risers sound like. And yeah, So yeah, bunch of like glitchy effects, and then I just have this like little vocal playing right before the drop, which I thought sounded pretty cool. Because the sample originally sounded like it was like playing like this 8th note pattern, and then so the snare fill worked perfectly with it. So yeah, it just sounded really cool. And then I just have like white noise playing in the background to make it sound more glitchy. So now let's get into the drop. I guess we'll start with the chords. So basically, these are the same chords throughout the entire song, but now it's being chopped up and playing like 8th notes. Nothing plays when until the snare hits. But yeah, basically I just used 2 of the same presets. I just layered that and threw it an octave up. And then I just threw some white noise on top of that to fill out the spectrum more and give more energy. I have them all like set to this reverb, and basically it's entirely dry until like the notes stop playing. So like swells into the next chord, but I like mute it here because if I had it unmuted, then the reverb from this chord would be playing into the next, and that sounds really nasty and muddy, and you would never want that. So the main focus of the drop are these leads, basically. These are both massive leads. So just, I don't know, it just had like this like glitchy kind of sound to it. It sounds like a video game kind of lead, I guess. And then I just have the same lead thrown up an octave. So basically, for my idea for this one is since this one's the more meat of the sound, I wanted it to be like a little bit more narrower. And then for this sound, I'm kind of just widening it because it's more higher in the frequency range. So when sounds have more like higher frequencies, it's good to spread them out so that way your stereo image sounds more professional in the mix. And then I just have an ARP playing behind that. It's just a saw. Saw with a pulse wave. 2 saws and a pulse wave. I just do a 64th ARP or 32. 32 ARP, and it's just going down, playing the same notes only when the chords are playing. Let's get onto the basses. So these are what the basses sound like. So yeah, I was aiming for something that sounded like really dark and mysterious, kind of like Rez, not really. Just like one of those like psytrance sounding basses. And I'm using this for the mid bass, and then this is what the sub sounds like. Yeah, this is a stock preset in Serum. So yeah, it's just a pretty good sub bass that has like a different tonality to it, and it had like the plucky feel I wanted it to. Now we can get onto the drums. A 4 on the floor kick pattern, but I have like a little reverse kick going into after the first 4 bars, just because I wanted to have more impact when the first snare hits. And yeah. And then yeah, I just have the crashes playing only when the chords are playing. And then here, let me solo the snares because the snares are pretty simple. They just sound like 80s snares, I guess, like real drum samples. So basically this was like the first layer I started out with, and then I just wanted another layer to make it sound more retro, and then I just added this texture on top of it, and it just gave me that kind of snare I wanted. And then this reverse snare is basically just this snare, but I bounced it out and then I just reversed it because this snare has like a lot of reverb on it. And I just have some like subtractive EQ on it, and yeah. And then I just have like a drum fill. So yeah, like pretty retro Porter Robinson sounding. And then we can get into the second part of the drop. I instead have like this distorted 808 playing, and then I just have like white noise playing on it, and it gave me this like cool glitchy effect. Sounds like this. So yeah, that's what I ended up coming up with. There's no real processing on it. Just a bunch of bit crushing to make this sound more glitchy, and then some chorus and low cuts because it's white noise. And then this is where the other ARP comes in. That sounds way more prominent. The reason why it sounds more prominent is because it has a tremolo on it, so it's being panned left to right, so that way it's easier to hear because it's in a different part of the spectrum instead of just like in the center where everything else is. So yeah, it's just panning really fast. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, so when the chords aren't playing, I have another lead playing under it, which is just the same hypersaw to give it more impact. So yeah, pretty cool effect. I thought it gave like the lead way more presence when the chords weren't playing. And then I just have this like little piano part playing just to give it more texture, to let the listener know that the phrase is coming to an end. Yeah, I just thought it was a pretty cool addition to it. I think it might be unnecessary, but other than that, that's pretty much the... Thanks for sticking with me till the end. I appreciate you guys for watching and sticking around. Remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and what you want to see next in my future videos. And yeah, the beat will play again at the end, just if you want to hear it again. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.